Hello, gorgeous, beautiful stars! ParisStarChannel here welcomes you with a new and possibly a very exciting episode. As you can see, like, what has happened? What has happened? And especially, as you can see, my look and what has happened on my eyes. Well, allow me now to spoil a little bit what is planned for today, because the star of the episode is going to be this. Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. It is a second palette in the Ethereal Eyes saga. The palette with lots of unique and especially cool toned eyeshadows that is going to help you to achieve this kind of a unique moonlight look. I am actually very excited to share it with you and to talk about this palette with you and give you my own personal insight into this product. So yes, guys, if this is something that interests you, welcome. Please tune in to my channel, to the party, where we celebrate diversity and beauty, because diversity makes us all different. With our differences, we are all gorgeous, unique, and beautiful. Let's start today's episode. Today's episode is all about the star, which is Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette, second one in the Ethereal Light saga. So yes, guys, if this is something that interests you, please keep on watching, because we are just about to start. Consider yourself invited. Alright, guys, so here we are ready to start today's episode. And guys, as I've mentioned before, today's star of the episode is going to be this product, and it is Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. This is how the product looks like, and guys, just for you, a little bit of the unboxing and look into the situation. This is the latest palette from Makeup by Mario. There is a 12-month of the shelf life of this unique palette, and we are opening it right over here, and now we have this amazing, incredible, beautiful palette. What I absolutely love about the Ethereal Eyes palette is that, as you can see it, it is a palette that has a very nice large eyeshadows, yet the palette, it fits into your palm, which is absolutely wonderful. I think the super big palettes are kind of like people don't want a big palette. They want a palette that absolutely is portable and you can take it everywhere with you. And you can see there are different shades for different types, mattes, metallics, and glossy shimmers as well. And this is the comparison with the previous palette, the first part, which was just called just an Ethereal Light, so that you can see it. I definitely loved the palette. I definitely used the palette, as you can see the usage right over here. And now let's do a little bit of a comparison for you, because I think it is quite interesting and quite important. This is how the both palettes actually looking side by side. So you can see that Ethereal Eyes is definitely very warm, while the latest Ethereal Eyes Moonlight, it's definitely cooler, although there are some similarities. We are going to see it in just a second. So guys, one thing that I would like to show, especially when it comes to shimmers right now, you can see it in the natural light, how beautiful and reflective the shimmers can be. And this is absolutely something that from the previous palette, I already thought that is definitely worth investing. It's the shimmers, a very unique shimmery formula. And then guys, from the official Instagram of Makeup by Mario, you can actually see all the swatches. I am not going to swatch this on my arm because I don't want to impact too much on the formula. But why not, having the swatches from the official source? This is how it looks like. So we are going to test it out on my eyelids, and I'm super curious how it is going to look like and perform. So yes, guys, one more time, these are the palettes. This is the latest one, the Moonlight, and this is the previous one, the Ethereal Eyes. I'm a very big fan of these palettes. For me, this is like the kings and queens top of the top when it comes to the eyeshadow from MakeupByMario. It's like we could compare it with Pat McGrath. She can have her eyeshadows in her carton box eleganza extravaganza, and that's fine. Everyone has its own preferences, but then when she launches the mothership, everyone's just like, okay. So, and I guess this is the same thing. When MakeupByMario launches his Ethereal Eyes, everyone's just like, alright, I need to have it. So this is the original Ethereal Eyes. As you can see it, it's definitely loved by me. It is definitely warmer right over here. And now when we open the latest launch in the form of the Moonlight, oh my gosh. I still have some beautiful natural light today, so sometimes you can see the sparkles. The glossy shimmers are absolutely incredible. But then there are some similarities, I suppose, to the palettes. Like, for example, like this one over here with the old palette is quite similar to this one in the latest palette. Then this shimmer right over here is quite similar to this shimmer. Then this gray is quite similar to this gray. So, you know, at least I can see 3 similarities right over here. So I guess like this one right over here, it's quite similar with a mixture of this one. So, you know, it's not what I'm trying to say. There are some comparisons right over here. At least three shades that are quite comparable. But yes, I digress. The most important thing is what kind of a look I can achieve just by using these shadows. So yes, guys, allow me now to do the first look off the camera. I'm not going to occupy you. I'm not going to occupy you with how I blend, how I use, how I do everything. I have the arsenal of the brushes right over here, but just to save some time, the most important thing is not to judge me by my makeup skill, but to judge what kind of a look I can achieve and what kind of formula we're having over here. So allow me now to do the first look, basically a very simple look. I'm going to use these 3 eyeshadows that are mattes, and I will try to achieve this kind of a everyday look. Let's see how it is going to look like. I'll see you in just a second. Alright guys, so the first look is almost finished. So as I've said before, I applied the 3 eyeshadows right over here, 1, 2 and 3. The middle one, the gray one, went all over my crease. Then the brown one went in the outside corner and a little bit in the earthen corner. And then the lightest one went as some sort of a cut crease situation and here in my brow bone. And guys, this is how it looks like, the finished look, so that you can judge on your own. A very nice everyday look, super simple to work with. First thing what I saw and what I've noticed was that the shadows are definitely pigmented. They blend very nice, but if you have a heavy hand or if you have a brush that are having a stiff stiff bristles. Be cautious. Do not do not do it like this, but be gentle. Touch the eyeshadows very gently, blend it very, very gently, smooth it however you want. If you have a heavy hand, this eyeshadow palette might not be the eyeshadow palette for you. Just to be absolutely honest, if you like this kind of a precision and blendability, just to touch the eyeshadow and just do something like this, you will be happy. The work with the eyeshadows was absolutely wonderful, and the effect while using these 3 matte eyeshadows gave me this kind of a look. So what I would like to do now, I would like to transform this look into another level, because imagine, okay, this is the daily look, and then there is an evening and you would like to go and have some fun and have some parties and you want to transform. I'm actually very tempted to use some of these shimmers, so let's do it. Let's apply some of these shimmers and transform this look on another level. Let's see what kind of a result we can have. Alright guys, so we have added some shimmers, and oh my, does this make a difference? It makes a huge difference. I mean, these kind of like sparkly toppers, they can transform any kind of a look. As you can see it right over here, we have used this one in the inner corner. In the middle part we used this one, and then in the outer part we used this one, all the shimmers, and this is the effect that you can have. And wow, I mean, the first things first, it's very important, once again, be subtle. Don't be rude to your palette, because they're very nicely pigmented and you don't need a lot to have that kind of an effect. In fact, the more you will try to put on your finger, if you would like to work with your fingers, there might be lots of fallout. So, you know, be very... Oh dear, can you hear it? Anyway, what I'm trying to say, be very mindful about your palette. Be very demure, so that you can have a very cutesy look. This is what I am trying to say. The effect that you can have, look at this, like from the lightest to the darkest sparkle. Absolutely wonderful. I love it. Good. So that would be the first look. I'm actually super curious about one thing, and I will try to do this experiment right now, which means I'm super curious. I'm gonna take this blue one right over here. Oh, there's a fallout. Good. And with this blue, I will try to put this on my hand just like so. And now I will try to take the lightest one over here. And with this lightest one, I will try to put this over here on this blue. And now the blue is not blue anymore, actually. As you can see, It is gorgeously sparkly grey. I mean, wow. I love it. And I don't know if my finger can actually see it and show its justice, how beautiful it looks like and sparkly, like the two shadows combined all together. I love it. Good. Okay, guys, I digress. Right now, let's go into the halo eye and the second look. I'll see you in just a second. Alright guys, so here we are almost with a finished second look, and I made a little bit of a mistake, I suppose, because as you can see right over here, I was going with a halo eye. It was going very well, and then I thought I'm going to choose this metallic shade to have this kind of like a metallic effect in the middle of my mobile eyelid, and well, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. I suppose for me, when it comes to the metallics, I definitely want to see something that looks like a metal. And in here, you have to build it up to have that type of an effect of the metallic eyeshadow. It's not 100, in my opinion, for me, it is not 100% metallic. It gives me some metallic vibe, but on the eyelid it looks like this, and it kind of destroyed the effect of the halo eye that is over here on the other side. So what I want to do now is to transform these eyeshadows into something else by adding some of the shimmers, some of the sparkles. So yeah, let's do it and see the result it gives. Alright guys, so here we are, second look using these eyeshadows. Just to let you know what happened actually on my eyelids was I used this gray right over here on my crease. Then I used this blue in the inner and the outer part of my eyelid. I don't know, from my experience, I had a little bit of a trouble with this blue, but the effect it gave me is quite nice. And then I was expecting to have some sort of a unique kapow from the metallic shade, and it did not happen. It did not happen actually, you know, so one of the halo, whatever. And then I used the shimmers, and this shimmer right over here I used here in the middle part, and then one of the shimmers, the golden one right over here, I used in this part, and this is the eye look that I have achieved. And Okay, it's party time. It's definitely party time. It gives me this kind of like luxurious vibes, the red carpet, and some sort of a gala situation and whatever, whatnot. Absolutely beautiful. And guys, this is how it looks like, so that you can have your own look into situation and your own judgment. I wonder, what do you think about it? Looks nice. Oh my gosh, I hardly ever see myself with such kind of a colors and shadows, but I suppose this is what I knew from the previous part of Ethereal Eyes, that these shimmers right over here, they're the game changers. They can practically change and transform any kind of a look to another level. And you can actually see it right over here, this golden shimmer, absolutely beautiful. But nonetheless, this one, the white one, looks extremely good as well. Good. Allow me now to wipe this off, and let's go dark. Let's go absolutely dark, let's go shimmery dark, let's go smoky dark, and see what kind of a final effect we can have on my eyelids. Alright guys, so here you have the third and final look. Allow me now to explain what has happened actually on my eyelids. Well, quite surprisingly, I start with the deepest black right over here, and I put it in my mobile eyelid, and then I blended, and the more I blended, I was quite surprised that this black is not the deepest black. You can absolutely build it to have it like blackest black, but then when you actually blend it, it transforms into some sort of an interesting, very dark gray shade, which gives me a very interesting result. And then in my crease, I used this gray shade right over here to blend the outside part of my eyelid. And then I went with this metallic once again, and I put it on the top of this black. It combined really very nicely, and this is the effect it gave me without the transformation of putting the sparkle. So you can have a comparison matte and metallic in comparison with the toppers, so that you can have a look into the situation and have your own judgment. What do you think about it? Your opinion matters most, and my honest 4K camera is going to tell you the truth. And then obviously, as you could see on the other eyelid, I started with the lightest sparkle in the inner portion of my eye. Then I went with... which one I went with? I went with this one, with this gray sparkle in the middle part, and then I went with the darkest top sparkle in the outer part of my eyelid, and this is the effect it gave me. So you know, you can have a look. Absolutely, the toppers, the sparkly toppers, can transform any kind of a look you're doing. So allow me now to finish my whole look and my eye look, and I'll be back in just a second for a final thoughts and the summary. Hello gorgeous beautiful stars! ParisStarChannel here welcomes you with this final look. Final look made with a latest palette from MakeupByMario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight. And guys, this is how it looks like. It is definitely a cool tone palette, no doubt, despite the fact that there are some bronzes. We can have a nice look, no doubt, but definitely cool tone, cool tone, cool tone. It gives me the moon vibe, it gives me the evening vibe, the night vibe, absolutely 100%. So allow me now to approach to show you the final effect of the makeup, guys. You can see it on your own eyes. Everything blends very nicely on top of each other, works with each other. The mattes, metallic, I would like it to be more metallic, but it is my own personal taste, I suppose. And then the toppers, everything blends very nicely, and it gives me this kind of a unique look. And I suppose these grays and these cool tones, they definitely accentuate very nice my blue eyes. I love it. Very nice. I mean, if I'm ready now to go for a party. I'm ready to go and have a party, red carpet, put me in tuxedo or put me in some sort of a gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful costume, give me some silver, platinum jewelry, and I'm ready to go. This is how I feel myself at this moment. So guys, it is time to come to the summary. What do I think? ParisStarChannel gives a green light to the latest Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palettes makeup by Mario. I personally think that it is a nice palette. The best part of this palette are the shimmery toppers right over here, and then the mattes. It depends to your own personal taste how you're going to work with them, because I suppose they are definitely very specific to the point. The cool tones might not be for everyone. Since I do have blue eyes, every time I look what happened here in my eyes, I absolutely love it. The effect it gives me, definitely very nice, beautiful, and desirable. So yes, guys, once again, this is how it looks like from the close-up. You can have your own look into the situation and your own judgments. Certain shadows, they definitely need some time to blend, but eventually, if I can have and achieve this kind of a look, I don't mind. And guys, this is how it looks like in the natural light, so you can have your own look into the situation as well, because you know the studio light the lights are different, and then the natural light are completely different as well. So for me it is very important to show you everything, so that you can have your own full judgment into the situation when it comes to this palette. Hello, gorgeous, beautiful stars, guys, a little bit of an update to this episode because obviously I got the palette, I got so excited, and my way of seeing things during the review was a little bit like, what am I trying to say, guys? I had enough time to play with the palette, and during the review, I haven't had a time because I just applied it and I told you my first impressions. And then live came, and then I started actually to play with a palette for a very long time, and I started seeing things that I did not see during my initial review. So here I am with the update, and I think this is very important. So we are actually doing the longevity and the long wear test because I think it is super important, guys. I have been wearing it for the whole day, and as you can see, it's after 11 in the evening. So I have been wearing for a whole day so that you can see how these eyeshadows they're going to look like and perform during the whole day. So guys, allow me now to approach so that you can have a look. By the way, this is the matte look with the shimmer toppers, and this is just the mattes, so that you can have a look and have your own comparison. And in just a second, I'm going to share with you my own personal opinion based on my experience. Guys, by the way, I'm 45 years old, my skin is normal to dry, and I think that is very important when it comes to these eyeshadows. So, we have 4 different formulas. Let's start with a metallic. There's only one metallic, and this metallic is right over here. So, finger is clean. Allow me now to show you this metallic. I usually hardly ever swatch, but this is important. So I don't know how you, but for me it does not give me 100% of a metallic. Maybe it's me. I differently perceive metallics. This is kind of like 70% metallic and 30% non-metallic, but maybe this is me being picky. This is the only metallic that you can find in the palette, and this is how it looks like. So this is the first thing. The second thing, we have creamy satin formulas. The creamy satin formula is this one, this beige one, and this gray one. And once again, 70% creamy satins. They're not really, despite the fact that you might think there might be a little bit kind of like slightly glowy radiance, most 70% they're actually matte. So if you would like to apply it, they actually apply it right over here. This satin is the satin kind of a situation, radiant situation is super subtle. Super subtle. And then we have those glossy. And the rest is matte. So glossy are absolutely incredible because they can transform any look to something incredible and magical that you can see it right now. We have the glossy glimmery toppers, and that was the matte, and that was with the toppers. So they're absolutely a palette selling probably products because they can change absolutely everything. But are they like the moon dust from the Urban Decay? No. And this is what we're going to touch in just a second, because now we have to touch the subject of the mattes that are over here. The brown matte especially right over here, and the navy blue matte. They're patchy. At least in my opinion, they are a little bit patchy. In order to have a wonderful seamless effect, you have to blend them. You have to blend, and then the effect is actually quite nice. But then again, one question for you is, can you tell what kind of a matte it is on my eyelids? What kind of color? Is it the gray or is it the navy blue? This is the navy blue. And then when you blend it, the naviness, the blueness of that eyeshadow disappears actually, and it became gray. So if I want a navy blue, I want this navy blue to be navy blue through and through. And it's not happening. And the particularity actually of the matte eyeshadows, and this one, the particularity of this matte shadows are matte eyeshadows are that they are very powdery, and there's a lot of fallback, kickoff. You have to shake your eye brushes, so have that in mind, because if you will go mindlessly, there might be a lot of fallout, and they're powdery. They're powdery. So in comparison, for example, with the moon dust, moon dust is a powder formula, but to the touch it's almost like a cream. And sometimes you have those kind of like eyeshadows palettes when you touch it and say, oh my gosh, they're like a cream, but they're still powder. So moon dust is like one of them. These are definitely powdery. And why it is so important? Because I'm 45 years old, so sometimes in certain situations my eyelids are tired and dry because of this drying powder formulas that are on my eyelids. And by the end of the day, my look might look old, should I say, because this powdery formula is absolutely, it's very special, it's very different, it's not creamy, it's powdery and drying on my eyelids. So this is definitely an information that I wanted to share with you. The sweet spot when it comes to the wear, it's like 5 hours. It looks wonderful, it looks beautiful. And then there's the decline. Sometimes I wear makeup for 10 hours, sometimes longer, because of my wonderful and private life. So have that in mind, that the most beautiful look you can definitely achieve during the 5 hours. And if your eyelids, and if you have a mature skin, then these eyeshadows, they might not be so flattering. They might actually age you. There might be not so flattering. This is what I am trying to say. And this is the result that you can see during the whole day of wear. I can definitely see some tiredness right over here. It wore off a little bit right over here. There's a little bit of a patchiness, and well, with the toppers it definitely looks better, because the toppers are the game changer for this palette, and they are the winners. So for the toppers, I think it's a very good palette. I still think that ParisStarChannel gives a green light to this palette, but all these informations I definitely wanted to share with you. The first one, the mattes can be patchy, especially the blue one and the brown one. Then when you blend the blue one, it can disappear and become kind of like a gray. And then the metallics. The metallic, it does not give me a metallic vibe that I perceive. And then the satin, they're not super satiny. They're rather more on the matte side. So yes, that would be my my update when it comes to this palette. I still think it's a very nice palette, but it's not mind-blowing. Mind-blowing example would be, for example, the Moon Dust Space Cowboy. This is mind-blowing. This is a correct palette, and I'm super happy that I have it to my Ethereal Eyes collection, and I can't wait to see another part in the Ethereal Eyes saga. So that we all what I wanted to share, and let's jump to the rest of the episode that I have prepared for you. Mwah. Alright guys, so I suppose that would be all when it comes to this episode. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so very much for tuning into my channel. On my channel, we celebrate diversity and beauty, because diversity makes us all different. With our differences, we are all gorgeous, unique, and beautiful. Thank you so very much for your continuous support on my channel, your likes, subscriptions, and your comments. Time to say goodbye, kisses and cuddles. Mwah. So as for now, guys, take care. Bye-bye now.